bless the wealth and to curb extravagance in eating, drinking, clothing, and in Allah loves to be asked, and He everything we do, encourages that in all things. He is angry with the one who does not ask of Him, and He encourages His slaves to ask of Him. 2. Istikbar, pride. Allah says, interpretation of the meaning. And your Lord said, invoke me, i.e. verily He loveth not the arrogant, believe in my oneness, Islamic proud. Surah Al-Nahl 16:23. Monotheism, and ask me for anything, I will respond to your invocation. Ghafir, and the Prophet says, pride is to 40:60. Completely disregard the truth and scorn looking down upon the people. Muslim dua is very important in Islam, so much so that the Prophet said, sometimes a person might be deceived. Dua is worship. Narrated by by his/her knowledge, wealth, and Tirmidhi 3372. Abu Dawood 1479. Ibn, property, lineage and ancestry, or worship. Marja 3828. And be arrogant and boastful. 38 page. Al-Hasan al-Basri advised that, do not humiliation will surround them from become proud merely because you worship everywhere. At Tirmidhi often, for consider what happened to Iblis after he spent a great deal of time worshipping gems and jewels. Wise 4. Udvan, transgression. Sayings, interesting events and moral lessons from the Islamic history, compiled for Allah loveth not those given to by Abdul Malik Mujahid. Jerusalem, excess transgression. Surah Al-Ma'idah. Pride is among the greatest means of 5:87 damage to a person's wealth, and human characteristics have limitations, circumstances. It distances one away from which, if surpassed, would be transgression. Allah's love, and He who has in his heart, and if one falls short of it, it would be the weight of a mustard seed of pride shall defect. For example, generosity has a not enter paradise. Sahih Muslim, book. Limitation, when surpassed, it becomes number 001, hadith number 0166. Extravagance, when courage is surpassed, it becomes rashness. When ibadah worship is surpassed, one falls into the 3. Muqtal faq, or arrogant risk of adopting bid'ah. Some of the boaster companions almost fell into this trap. Narrated by Anas bin Malik. A group of for Allah loveth not any arrogant 3 men came to the houses of the wives boaster. Surah Luqman 31:18. Of the Prophet asking how the Prophet worshipped Allah, and when they were being arrogant and boastful are informed about that, they considered the deadly combination, beauty, knowledge, worship insufficient, and said, where our wealth and noble lineage should be taken we from the Prophet as his past and future as gifts from Almighty Allah, and one's sins have been forgiven. Then one of them should be humble and grateful for them, said, I will offer the prayer throughout the rather than make them a means of pride night forever. The other said, I will fast and oppression throughout the year and will not break my servants of Allah cannot be true to fast. The third said, I will keep away from themselves as long as they are flattering the women and will not marry forever, themselves, walking in an arrogant manner. Allah's apostle came to them and said, and looking down on people who are you the same people who said so and inferior to them and not mix with them, so by Allah, I am more submissive to the one who is arrogant in this world will Allah and more afraid of him than you be disgraced on the day of judgment. Yet I fast and break my fast, I do sleep and I also marry women. So he who does not. Prophet Muhammad says, my tradition in religion is not from 39. Follow arrogant will be gathered on the day of me, not one of my followers. Sahih page. Judgment in the form of small ants. Bukhari, book number 62, hadith number 1. Therefore, moderation is the best way. Perfidy, deception and hypocrisy which in to deal with all matters, it is not to turn soil the iman, exaggerate and make it hard for ourselves by prohibiting the permissible things, and not to transgress the limits by excessively 7. Ifsad, mischief making, indulging in the permissible matters but Rather we should only use what satisfies, and Allah loveth not those who do our need and not fall into extravagance, mischief. Surah Al-Ma'idah 5:64. This is a comprehensive term which includes great crimes, sins, oppression, 5. Zoom evil, wrongdoing, carrying false tales, hypocrisy, tyranny and all kinds of mischief. All these acts are, but God loveth not those who do despicable and stain the Iman, wrong-Zaliman oppresses, polytheists, and wrongdoers. Surah Ali, Imran 3:57. Hasten today to adopt the qualities that Almighty Allah loves and don't rest until this is a reprehensible trait whose they become second nature to you. Hasten existence spoils the Iman and darkens the today to abandon all the qualities Allah heart. The wrongdoers are those who have does not love and don't relent until you chosen the tempting transient life, instead hate them with all your heart.